All right. Welcome to the Twisted Glade. This is Otter here, and I'm going to show you another 2v2 battle. This was a super fun matchup, and I'm not going to tell you who wins. You're going to have to watch the matchup to figure it out. I'm playing Crone Hellpit, and I got a Sorceress of Beasts. There's Scipio Africanus on my team playing with Skrulk and an Assassin. Oh, and he's got this little cutie over here. The Hellpit Abomination. Super badass. And then on the far side, we've got the meme lord himself, one of the best, Volkmar the Grim. But actually, he's viable. Unlike I think some other meme lords like Prince Figgle, I think Volkmar, like he can do work in the right situation. Actually, he may be one of the strongest Empire lords, in my opinion. But I like to take him on the horse rather than on his big buggy. But that's another discussion we don't need to get into for now. Celestial Wizard is going to debuff with Curse of the Midnight Wind and a Wind Blast. So cool stuff out of the Empire there. And then the Mage of Shadows is going to be supporting Tyrion and a Noble. High Elves are played by Justice, and AC Finglish is playing the Empire. With that said, let's get underway. In terms of my army composition, I went with sort of a rush faction because I know this map, it has like a little ridge which is between two trees and, sorry, a rush composition. It's a tiny map between two trees, and I figured a lot of the fighting is probably going to be done in the woods. So I was like, you know what, if there's a matchup to take more high tier infantry, this is probably the one. But wisely, Justice, he left most of the shooting at home. He didn't bring any Lothern Seaguard, and he didn't really bring any. Basically, he just brought a whole bunch of White Lions who are going to do okay, I think, against elite Dark Elf infantry because they have like very high armor pen ability if they're supported by the Pure Main Company, and they have pretty high melee attacks. So they're gonna trade okay with the Harganeth Executioners in terms of their cost. I mean, they're still gonna lose, but they're not going to get annihilated like Spearmen, and there's no liability of protecting Archer backlines. Fireborn are coming around here on this left flank, but the Death Runners are there, and they're going to, trade very well with the Fireborn if they can get their hands on them. Scipio is sending over a unit of Storm Vermin and some Rat Ogres to support and I guess pin down these Fireborn. So this is a pretty big fight that's going on here. The Noble is here, but Justice is awake and he's going to pull the Fireborn back before they take too much damage here. I've gone straight into the High Elf player because I wanted to essentially hit Justice before the Empire could rotate over. So I've gone full speed, but the Empire player is not resting on his laurels here and, just protecting the Hammer of the Witches. He's only left one unit of Spearmen in reserves, and he's basically, come full charge with his army over here to support. And the Celestial Wizard, that debuff is going to be very, very important in giving the High Elves time to work. Here's a Wind Blast coming down on some Dread Spears. That's not going to do too much work, is it? Let's see. It does. I think maybe if you overcast it, it does extra armor pen. Let's see. I'm not sure about that. Let me double check. Oh my god. They got to make it easier to look at the unit cards. Like you should just be able to click on the unit and then it just shows up. Wind Blast. Yeah, there we go. Increased armor pen piercing damage. So if you overcast it, it will do some work on these Harganeth Executioners who do have high armor. So pretty good choice of loadout, I think, for this type of map to bring that. And look at this. So Wind Blast plus Penundulum, I've literally lost like half a unit of Dread Spears and almost half a unit of Harganeth Executioners. And the Penundulum, let's see. It's probably overcast. She racked up 51 kills off of that one cast, so that was devastating. I was like, crap, man. Maybe I should have not been so hasty and put the units around the side. So Gaze of Cain and Curse of Midnight Wind are essentially going to negate each other, more or less. Wise Fan's Wisdom is in there, so... I mean, I do have some... Well, let's see. Melee attack. So the Dread Spears are not hit with the Gaze of Cain. Oh, yeah. So a lot of my units with that with that Curse of the Midnight Wind, are not doing very much damage here, which is very disappointing for an army that's led by Hellebron. Only 12 melee attack on these Harganeth Executioners. That's going to be really hard to even just get through these White Lions and Spearmen, so they're going to take a lot of damage there. That's very tough. I do have Hellebron nearby, so I think I will drop a Gaze of Canaan here somewhere and negate that. But there's a lot of Skaven resources here that have been pulled away, I think, to the Fireborn, maybe overcommit on the Fireborn, and I'm sort of getting 2v1'd here in this pocket against the High Elves. Another Penundulum coming down right across the line of my valiant Dark Elf forces here. I just want to check in on that that sorceress. Mage. I guess mage is the term for the good guy sorcerers. So he's up to 300 kills now. That's fucking ridiculous. Oh my god. 300 kills and the battle's just started. And my entire front line is like off of that Penundulum and another Wind Blast. Like my entire front line is just gone. So much for a Rush army. That was devastating. Balance bar is so heavily in our opponent's favor. And I was like, well, that didn't work at all. But Hellebron's in here. She's nearby the Hellpit Abomination. She does have a Mortis Engine effect when she's winning. So that's going to start like just slowly chipping away at these units here. And Skrulk also does have some Mortis Engine abilities. So, you know, the Rod of Corruption and so on is going to start degenning this pocket really hard, right? Rabahad Talisman from the Skaven Assassin. So just anarchy in here. And I was like, man, if they only came a little bit earlier, maybe all of my forces wouldn't have gotten wiped here. Empire Knights and the Fireborn are doing a pretty good job of cleanup duty here in the back. But fortunately, my ally Scipio is chasing them around with these rat ogres and death runners, and the tag team of those two are going to do pretty good work on the Fireborn, who are now down to only 15 unit models and are very close to breaking off. Rat ogres are also securing the back line here against these Fireborn, and a banishment just got cast. I don't know what he was trying to cast it on. Maybe the Blackguard of Nagrand. So I had a very tattered unit of Blackguard of Nagrand, but it went across the entire High Elf front line, and Justice here was so pissed. Like after the game, he's like, "What the hell? Like, how did you just torch like my entire army?" Let's see. This was cast by Volkmar on his Volksmobile. Where is he? There he is, Volkmar. He's going in here trying to buff everything basically against the rats now. But yeah, he picked up 92 kills. I don't know if like friendly fire counts towards the kills, but he just routed off like the entire High Elf army. So thanks for that, Volksmar. You're the man. This is an interesting fight here because I sent Hellebron in on Volkmar because she is a duelist and she can do pretty well in these types of situations. But what I forgot, well, until I was fighting him, was Volkmar does magic damage, right? So I had the sorceress casting. Did I cast the impenetrable pelt on her? Let's see. It's not up there, no. So she's just at base physical resistance of 20%. Yeah, I think that's it. It did get pops. It went up to 42%. Oh yeah, 42% because of where's that? Where's that? Let's see here. Let's see. Frenzy. Heroic Killing Blow. Yeah, Penance. So Penance does get popped. So she's 42% physical resistance. But Volkmar has magic damage, right? So it's going to ignore that physical resistance. So that was a bit of a waste by me. And I was noticing that like, she was still taking a lot of damage there. So that was a bit unfortunate. But still, she does a shit ton of damage. So even with Volkmar's damage resist, she is going to be doing, like, over the long run, a lot of damage there. And the Hellpit Abomination comes in here and adds in his little bit of help, plus the Assassin. So Volkmar, taking a lot of damage, decides it's time to pull out. And he does have quite a bit of mass, so he can get out there without too much trouble. And sends in some Empire Knights here to basically pin us down and prevent us from pursuing. crossbows are shooting in at whatever they can, but they're going to have a tough time with the trees here protecting us. And the rat ogres and death runners have done a great job of finding these Empire Knights and basically wrapping them up. There's a unit of rat ogres who are going to flee off here. And there's a unit of death runners who are chipping in on the noble and Tyrion. So Tyrion's gotten pinned in here on a unit of Sturm Vermin with halberd, so not where he wants to be for sure. The high elf units that were fleeing have now rallied, and they're going to come back in here. But when you have Skrolk plus a Hellpit, like, you can do a lot of work. And the Blackguard of Nagrand, I only have 18 unit models. They're losing, but they're holding on for a long time. They're just preventing Crone Hellebron from getting surrounded. And Hellebron plus Skrolk, that's a lot of degen, right? Gazer King goes down. So these Storm Vermin with Halberds are going to be doing some pretty good damage. They're up to 69 kills now and climbing. Flagellants are basically dead. And the Dark Elf forces, because the Death Runners and the Rat Ogres were able to pin those Empire Knights, fortunately they were able to rally, and that means that they're going to be able to dice and slice their way through these swordsmen and make their way back to the fight. So I was like, great. Here comes another big banishment. This time it is actually hitting some troops, but there's not a whole lot left here. I mean, it's good for like AoE, right? But there's only 14 Blackguard left, and the rest is all like large units. Oh, I guess there's the Storm Vermin, so they're gonna take a bit of a hit from that banishment. So ouch. But I don't know. Maybe we have a way to make our way back in the fight if we can somehow, you know, take out some of these high value targets. The front lines of the High Elves and the Empire are very, very tattered. There's a little bit left here, but these Harganeth Executioners who have rallied can probably chop through all of that if they don't have the Curse of the Midnight Wind on them. And the Mage of Shadows gets tied up in some Death Runners here, so it's a tough spot for them. Witch Elves just chopping up everything, so yeah. Getting back to the mosh pit over here. We've got Skrolk and the Hellpit Abomination chasing after Volkmar, but Volkmar's a tank lord, and he has regen, right? So if you're chasing Volkmar, you better be sure you're going to kill him. Almost everyone who takes Volkmar brings the the Jade Griffin. I'm not seeing it on here. I don't know if it shows up in this tooltip. Maybe he didn't bring it. I don't know. Not seeing it here. But usually Volkmar has regen. Looks like he didn't bring it. Tyrion's come right into the middle here. He's going to try and fight these Storm Vermin. The mages here. This is a pretty crazy fight. So there's a little bit of dipsy doodling going on here between Tyrion and Crone Hellebron. Hellebron went after the Mage of Shadows. She's at low health, and Tyrion's at high health with Stand Your Ground. So normally I'm not afraid to fight Tyrion with Hellebron. But at this point, Tyrion has much more health. And in a 2v1 with the support of his hero, Hellebron's not going to win that. So Hellebron comes around here. She's trying to put the moves on Tyrion. She cycles around towards her support hero, the Sorceress of Beasts. In a 2v1 with the Sorceress of Beasts plus Hellebron, I'm okay to take that fight with Tyrion. I might lose, but I'm going to do a ton of damage to Tyrion. And I do have the Harganeth Executioners nearby. The Mage of Shadows comes in here. Maybe just a little miss micro here by Justice. And I was able to wrap her up when Tyrion backed off and wipe the Mage of Shadows off the map. So that was a fortunate situation for us. Mage of Shadows is gone. Probably didn't have any Winds of Magic left anyways at this point, but that helped shift the battle bar in our favor. With that mage gone. So now Skrolk, Hellebron, and the Sorceress of Beast with the support of the Hellpit Abomination and Assassin are going to have command of this pocket, and Crone Hellebron plus the support hero are going in on Tyrion, right? And Tyrion, if he can isolate Hellebron, he's going to win that with her so low, right? But I brought over a unit of Witch Elves here. So now Tyrion's going ballistic, and he's going to start attacking whatever. Essentially, he's going to start attacking the Witch Elves. And so if his damage output is going into the Witch Elves, that means that Crone Hellebron and the Sorceress can attack him without getting attacked in return, which was like, okay, now we can fight him. So I peeled out Hellebron and then sent her into Tyrion. And with him out of control, he's going right into Storm Vermin. He's going right into Skrulk. He's going right into everything. He's taking a ton of damage. So very nice stuff there. But AC Finglish recognizes that his buddy Tyrion is in deep shit here, and he comes over and basically tries to push everything out of the way and says, "Get off my boy." And Volkmar can do that. So Trophy Heads goes down on him. I think Trophy Heads might have been better on Tyrion, but it's okay. I mean, he is in a tough situation. So basically, he clears the way for Tyrion. Tyrion loses the Madness of Cain. The Witch Elves, who took a ton of damage from that charge from Volkmar, pieced out. So now Tyrion is free to kite if he needs to. He is fighting a Hellpit. He is fighting Skrulk. So he's going to piece out, and he's going to go after Hellebron. Now Hellebron plus Tyrion plus the Volk Daddy is going to get gooned out, and she goes down to the Volksmobile and Tyrion combo. So tough situation there for me. My forces are basically done now. Like the Sigmar Sons, cycle charging from Empire Knights have wrapped up what was left of my Hargoneth Executioners. So at this point, it's basically down to the rats to take on these Empire troops and the Volksdaddy. So very, very close fight. Still, balance bar is pretty even. Sorceress of Beast, she casts... oh, not yet. She's wavering. Let's see here. Fast forward a little bit. I think she does rally here. Oh, I don't know. So balance bar is in our favor here. It shifted slightly in our favor. The Greatswords and Tyrion have taken a beating from the Hellpit Abomination Assassin, and the Greatsword is going to struggle against the large of the Hellpit. When the Hellpit is fighting in the woods, that means it's protected from the crossbow fire, and wisely, AC Finglish has turned off, I think, the fire at will, who's not wasting he's not wasting his ammo shooting in at the Hellpit in the woods here. So he does have a lot of ammo left on those units. That's going to be important as it comes down the stretch. So the Sorceress of Beast does rally. She's going to put in a rear charge on the great swords, and basically the great swords are not long for this world. Unit of clan rats here comes to interrupt the Sigmar Sons and bog down Volkmar just long enough to break off these great swords. So now the Hellpit can go after Volkmar and is out for blood. It did get pinned down in the clan rats just a little bit here, and he's going in. So Volkmar is now at what is he? He's got 200 kills. What a beast. He's got 1400 HP, but the Hellpit is designed to take down large units like this. And right off the bat, he chunks off 400 damage. But Volkmar is taken off to out of the woods, and this is tricky because if you come out of the protection of the woods, all of a sudden, these crossbowmen who have been idle and saving their ammo for the entire fight are now free to start doing some work. Hellpit. So my Supreme Sorceress cast Panan's Impenetrable Pelt on the Hellpit Abomination to give him a little bit more speed, right? So 22 speed, he's got a speed of 72, and the speed of Volkmar has a speed of 50, right? So in theory, he can catch him, but the Celestial Wizard and the Empire Knights are going to try and just pin or slow down as much as possible this Hellpit Abomination. So every step that this Hellpit Abomination is taking, it's taking missile fire from the crossbowmen and from these other units. Meanwhile, Skrulk and the Assassin are fighting in on Tyrion, but without the support of the Hellpit Abomination, Tyrion is not afraid of this fight, and down goes Skrulk. So now you've lost your degen ability of Skrulk, and the balance bar is shifting. So we've lost all of our leadership, both allies. So both lords are down, Hellebron plus Skrulk, and the Hellpit Abomination is just like, we're tunnel visioning on Volkmar. We're trying so hard to get him down, but he's got damage resistance plus 22, and every step of the way, like, again, he's taking missile fire and spears. So Hellpit Abomination eventually does get his man. Volkmar goes down, but now it's going to be tough to try and fight through this unit of spears, through this unit of Empire Knights and all these other things with Skrulk done. and the assassin now gone too. So crossbowmen getting absolutely max value out of them at this point. I don't know if they picked up a chevron yet, but they're going to start picking up chevrons, I would think. He starts the Hellpit Abomination breaks off the Empire Knights. He starts to push towards these crossbowmen. The Celestial Wizard, takes one for the team, and basically, with no winds of magic left, he's like, okay, I'm just going to interrupt him and stall him out for a little bit, give these crossbowmen more time to shoot, and that's time well used. The Hellpit Abomination is chunking down. I'm not sure if Too Horrible to Die has been proc. It does have regen, but I don't think it's going to have enough time to use it with Tyrion pinning him down. And look at that. Tyrion just got that huge burst of health from, what's it called? The, Heart of Avalon, is it? I don't know. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Oh my god, I hate how hard it is to go over unit cards. This one here, Heart of Avalon, yeah. So burst of hit, saving life points. So he went from basically almost dead to like 2,156 HP, and with that, like, he's gonna have enough HP to finish off the Hellpit Abomination. So that's the end of your game right there. But crazy close fight, and yeah. So sum up the battle. What worked well, what didn't work well. I mean, Hellebron, I think she performs. Harganeth Executioners were a huge disappointment in this matchup. Curse of the Midnight Wind like completely negated them for a little while, and the Mage of Shadows just wrecked them with them all in a line. So I tried to rush over there and get there early to try and isolate the High Elf player before the Empire player rotated over there, and in the end I was the one who got isolated because I got a little bit ahead of my rat brethren, and I was the one who got 2v1, so that was tough. And the Mage of Shadows got huge value out of Pendulum. For Scipio, I think the Hellpit Abomination performed really well, like 2 chevrons. So on the Twisted Glade map, like, I would say don't hesitate to bring a Hellpit Abomination. It can mulch through infantry, no problem, and it does well against large. So the only thing is, I would say you need to keep the Hellpit Abomination close to Skrulk, so that Skrulk doesn't get isolated. And the Skrulk plus Hellpit Abomination plus Assassin can pretty much fight anything. So it's really tough for opponents to deal with that. AC Finglish, I mean, eventually we did get Volkmar, but Volkmar was sort of where he needed to be at the right times, just cycle charging in and out. I think the MVP of the matchup was arguably the Celestial Wizard. I mean, so I take that back. MVP of the matchup was hands down the Mage of Shadows, but runner up and not far behind was the Celestial Wizard, because that Curse of the Midnight Wind rendered like all 4 units of my Harganeth Executioners useless. And the tag team of him plus the Shadow Mage was just devastating. So if I play Empire against Dark Elves, that's a unit that I would very seriously think about bringing. So I really like that pick. And Volkmar is not a bad choice on a heavily forested map like that, where you are expecting kind of an infantry grind type of fight. Hammer of the Witches racked up 89 kills, but I'm not sure if those were high value targets that were being shot or not. There were a lot of trees there, so I would probably just drop the cannon on this map. But yeah, I mean, I guess it did shoot into the Hellpit at some point in time there. So super fun matchup. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.